What's up everyone? Today I'm down at Benson, Fiat, and Alfa Romeo, and behind me is a 2018 Fiat 500. Huge thanks to them for providing this for me today. I'll have a link to their website down in the description below. And the model that we're looking at today is the Abarth. It's finished off in pearl white and has an MSRP just under $27,000. Under the hood is a 1.4 liter 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. This is either paired to the standard 5-speed manual or the optional 6-speed automatic. This engine produces 160 horsepower at 5,500 RPM and 170 pound-feet of torque at 2,400 RPM. It is front-wheel drive, weighs around 2,400 pounds. 0 to 60 is just under 7 seconds. It has a top speed of 113 miles an hour. And with a fuel capacity of 10.5 gallons, you can expect the MPG to be 28 in the city and 33 on the highway. The wheelbase measures 90.6 inches. It has an overall length of 144.4. The width is 64.1 and the height is 59.2 inches. Starting up front, this features adaptive LED headlights. There's daytime running lights located below those. Right in the center is the Abarth logo with more chrome trim pieces. Down below are 2 fog lights along with more black mesh, and there's a nice line coming down the middle section of the hood. Moving to the side, this features 16 by 6.5 inch forged hyper black aluminum wheels. There's 4-wheel disc brakes in all 4 corners, with the rotors up front measuring 11.1 inches and 9.4 inches in the rear. These brakes are bigger all around than the standard 500. This has a 70 to 0 stopping distance of 170 feet. The side mirrors are charcoal gray to match the Abarth logo running along the lower section of the door, and this also features a sport-tuned suspension. This also features a soft top retractable roof, and there are very clean lines running along the door. And finishing up in the rear with LED taillights, integrated spoiler with the 3rd brake light, standard backup camera with 4 parking sensors, and the tuned dual exhaust. And now with the key, we'll go ahead and take a more in-depth view of the interior. The door panel features nice red leather running along the armrest. You have the side mirror adjustments and the chrome release handle. A 6-speaker Alpine sound system is standard. This has the optional Beats audio sound system upgrade. There's a nice compartment down in the back side of the door as well. Moving inside now to the black and red leather seats. They are also heated. They have a nice design running along the inside of them. They also feature a nice silver cutout in the top portion of the seat, along with a red release handle to get to the back seats. They have a 6-way power adjustability and manual forward and back adjustability. Once inside, we're greeted with a fully wrapped black leather steering wheel. It has great hand positioning on both sides, along with red stitching running along the entire inside, gives it a nice touch. All of the buttons on the right side are for cruise control. The buttons on the left are all of the Bluetooth controls. To the left of the steering wheel, you can turn on and off traction control. There's 1 air vent surrounded in some white trim. We'll take a look at the center gauge setup now. To the left is a boost gauge. It has a really nice design to it. In the center, you have your tach on the left, speedometer on the right side. In the middle, you can view your miles per hour along with your MPG and range. Using these buttons over to the right, we can hit on the menu button and we can scroll through a couple different settings. You can look at your trip, a shift light indicator, different sound levels hitting the buttons, and you can go to your navigation, your audio, and back to your trip. So there's a couple different menus that you can go through. Pushing on the sport mode button also changes your RPM and your speedometer and gives it a little bit different setting, along with showing sport mode in the center of the boost gauge. And moving to the center, we'll take a look at the 7-inch touchscreen navigation screen. With that screen on now, there are a couple different things we can look at. You have navigation in the center. Up to the top right, there are a couple different settings that you can go through with your lights, your clock, and things like that. You have your radio, media, phone, and there's a more button. You can look at your clock, compass, and your trip meter. Very easy to use. You have your volume on one side, tuning on the other side, along with some more radio controls. Below that, there's 3 buttons. You have sport mode, your hazard, and a defroster. Now we'll take a look at all the AC controls. You have your temperature on one side with your fan speed on the other, and of course all the other adjustments, along with the heated driver and passenger seat. These are the side mirror adjustments. This is the 5-speed manual again. It's wrapped in leather, has more of the red stitching on it. Very smooth to go through the gears. Down below there's a 12 volt with an auxiliary port on one side, 2 cup holders, a little bit of a storage tray in the middle. Here is the manual parking brake with more leather and red stitching. Behind that is 2 armrests. You can move those up and down if you need to. Looking at the glove box, there's definitely a lot of room down there. We'll take another look at the red leather seats. They look really good against the exterior white. This does have the soft top roof again, so we can go ahead and open that up. Very cool to see how far back it goes. You have plenty of room to open that up and enjoy the nice weather. And this does feature rear seats, so we'll go ahead and check those out. We just pull on this tab on the driver's seat to move that forward. We can go ahead and hop in. Behind both front seats, there's a little bit of storage space. There's 2 cup holders down in the center. Surprisingly, I have a lot of legroom. I do have the front seat up just a little bit more than I would if I was sitting there. I have plenty of headroom. My head doesn't even touch the top. It's a little tight in the back seats, but you could definitely fit 2 people back here if you had to use them. You have a speaker on each side and the rear glass right there. Large side glasses too, which makes it even more open in the back seats. And then if you have the roof all the way back, makes it even more open. The back seats also have a 50-50 split to them, so you can see back to the trunk there. You can fit any larger items, making them even more versatile. Now we'll go ahead and take a look at the trunk storage space. You can either push on the key fob or right up underneath 500 there. With that open, this has about 9.5 cubic feet of storage space with the seats up and about 26 with the seats folded flat. Here's the Beats audio subwoofer in the back. So not really a whole lot of space with the seats up, but you can see with them down, definitely plenty of room. All right, so getting the Fiat 500 Abarth out on the road now. The first thing that I'm gonna do is a little acceleration. You can hear that turbo spool just a little bit. I was really surprised how loud this was on the cold start. It gives it an aggressive tone, which is really cool to see in this car. Going over the visibility, it's really easy to see all around. I could almost touch that back glass if I wanted to, but you can see over your left and right shoulder, and obviously right out of the back window since it's right there. Really gives you a lot of visibility. On the driver's side, there's a part of the mirror that has a zoomed in portion, which you probably don't need in this car, but it gives you a lot easier view at seeing things behind you when you're backing up. This has a camera in it too, so backing up makes it that much easier. Going over the shifter and the clutch now, the shifter is not in a normal spot you would see in another car. It's not right in the center, it's actually up. I'd say it's considered part of the dash. It's not really hard to get used to that. I'm resting my arm right on the armrest, and I can easily reach for the shifter and kind of use that to balance my arm if I want to. But it's really easy and smooth to go through. The clutch isn't that hard. It's very easy to use. The bite point is really close too. So it's a really easy and fun car to drive. Taking it on some turns now with the Sport Tune suspension that this has versus the just normal 500. It's definitely taking the turns well. I'll put it over into sport mode now. Not a lot of body roll. It's really fun around the turns. Putting a couple miles on this now, just going over the normal driving position and the comfort of the car. It's been really smooth so far. I like these seats. They're really comfortable. I like the steering wheel too. It reminds me of the 124 Spyder steering wheel. It's just a little bit bigger, but it has the same design to it. Nice notches on both sides so that we have good grip on the steering wheel itself. It's definitely a fun car to drive. I could see this being a daily driver. You can't put a whole lot of stuff in there, but it is nice that the back seats do fold down. So if you have anything that you need to put through that doesn't fit in the trunk itself, you have the option to do that. So I just pulled over to put the roof down now, and I didn't realize until now it goes all the way back. I thought it stopped kind of right between the front seat and the back seats there, but for backseat passengers, you would have no roof. So that's kind of a cool experience to have 4 people in here and have basically no roof. Surprisingly, the wind noise is not all that bad. You can see my hair blowing around a bit, but it's nice and calm kind of down at this level. Which is nice. We're gonna give it some gas now and just see how much louder we can hear that exhaust. Ooh, there's pops in that exhaust. I hope you guys could hear that. That sounded really good. So we're gonna do that again real quick. Woo! That sounds so good. And now we'll take one last look from the passenger side. Very nice red leather on the door panel. You can see Abarth down on the floor mats. A nice white center dash too. It gives it a really nice look matching the exterior. Nice clean setup in the center. Of course, the red leather seats. We'll take another look at the back seats again. So that is my walk around review and test drive of the 2018 Fiat 500 Abarth. Definitely a fun small size car to drive. It's eco-friendly. You can fit 3 other friends with you and have a lot of fun driving this around. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you're new to our channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for more videos to come. And I'll see you guys next video.